Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the first Tuesdays with Tina on this January 7th of 2025. Excited to start the new year off with you guys. And it's what an exciting 2025 it has been. 2024 was pretty epic with lots of rules and regulation changes. And I thought I would start 2025 off with you guys, just kind of reviewing a little bit about the scope of practice surrounding local anesthesia, especially for like dental hygienists and now with dental assistants as well. And I know you're like, what? Dental assistants? Yes, dental assistants. Now there are two states in the United States where dental assistants have the rights to provide local anesthesia for our dental patients. That's going to be Minnesota. They've been in practice with that, I think, almost a year now, maybe a little bit more. Anybody watching this knows the exact timeline on that, please let me know. And now here in the state of Oregon, dental assistants have that opportunity as well. It actually, July 1 of 2025, it became part of the scope of practice. And the very first dental assistants will start getting their education here just shortly. Actually, I get to be a part of their educational program to help them do 65 hours that it takes to make that happen. So that's pretty new and different within scope of practice and anesthesia. We're seeing states allowing that change as well, which I think we'll see that really being used in the restorative side of dentistry, where the assistant will be going ahead and anesthetizing the patient ahead of the time so the doctor can come in and provide that care, that restorative care. So be on the lookout for what that looks like, how it comes through. And I'm excited for those assistants in Minnesota that have been doing it and looking forward to working with the assistants here in Oregon. Now to hygiene, right? Now with hygiene, that's a different story. Well, you would think that we would have all of our states here capable where hygienists can do that, but we still have one more state, right? Delaware. Delaware is our holdout in being able to provide local anesthesia for our patients. Now, my hope is, and if anybody from Delaware is here watching, please let me know what you know. I haven't seen any information coming through, but my hope is Delaware will not be too far behind. And someone just said, Texas here. Woohoo. All right, Texas. I'm so proud of you guys. September of 2024 was a big time for you guys where you finally have been allowed to provide local anesthesia infiltration style. Now, hopefully down the road, it'll change for you guys where you will be able to administer some blocks, maybe. But, infiltration, you can do a lot with infiltration. You really can. And what a blessing it is that you can actually start providing care for your patient without having to wait for a doctor to come in and anesthetize your patient. And if you can do infiltration style with your Articaine, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So Jessica, congratulations. I hope you've gotten it. If you haven't gotten it, I hope you're in the process of getting your anesthesia certification in the state of Texas. So keep it up. And for hygienists in Texas, just so that you know, I've researched, I've looked, because I was like, okay, how can I help you out there? You have to go to a program that is with the CODA. So it has to be a CODA approved program, which is generally going to be like a dental school, a dental hygiene school that will have that information there for you. So just so you're aware of that. Now, not far behind, that was also Georgia, which I get to go to Georgia regularly, doing almost monthly, doing certification courses there. We have Mississippi, North Carolina, some of those newer states that brought it on. So really our scope of practice is growing in the world of local anesthesia. One of the things I think is interesting, especially for those of you who are really curious about moving from state to state to state, is that some states require you to have a clinical board exam for your local anesthesia endorsement, while other states, they don't necessarily require that. So it's really important to take a look at the state that you are in and maybe the states that you are going to see what kind of state certifications they require for that. Like, for example, here in Oregon, you do not have to go through a certification exam to have your local anesthesia endorsement. You have to go through an approved course. Now, where somewhere else you have to take that certification exam, like I think for Washington, if memory serves, I should have written this stuff down. Washington, you do have to have that certification from a clinical board examination. Now, some states also have very specific standards for the hours of education. Now, those hours could be just in general total. They might say a blanketed 25 hours of education on anesthesia. Some may say it's a total of 60 hours, 40 hours has to be on lecture. Then you have 10 hours have to be lab, 10 hours have to be clinical. Some states like Hawaii, you're required to administer a certain number of injections, right? You have to give, I think I just read, it's 50 injections that you have to give in your educational environment, 10 blocks, 5 PSAs, something along those lines. And I'm talking about this and I'm bringing this up to you so that should you decide that you are going to be mobile and move around, to be aware of some of those items. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're like, do I want to take a certification exam, like a board exam for my anesthesia? My state doesn't require it. My suggestion to you is after you've taken the course, while the information is fresh in your brain, do that certification exam. Okay. So if you are a student within here, if you're listening, and hello, if you're a student, please wave, please say hi. I've got YouTube over here that I'm looking at. And just so you guys know, if you're ever curious, about any of my past live Tuesdays, you can go to Teacher Tina RDH on YouTube and watch any of those, along with a lot of great educational videos as well. So if you're a hygiene student and you're like, do I want to take my clinical board exam for anesthesia? I don't necessarily need it for the state that I want to work in. Do it, because you never know where your steps are going to take you. So just take it. That's my encouragement for you. Now, with that being said, since I just mentioned certification exams and your clinical board exams, if you haven't seen or heard, I've partnered up with Dental Hygiene Basics. And later this month on January 25th, for you dental hygiene students who are getting ready for your board exams, we're going to do a anesthesia session all together. So you can message me, comment that you want to know more, or go follow Dental Hygiene Basics. That's a board review for dental hygiene students, and she does put some great stuff out there, and she has all of the information on how to register for that event. And a great thing is a lot of that registration is going to a scholarship fund, which is wonderful. So I want to put that out there. Okay, so to recap, scopes, the practices are changing. They're changing. And when we are looking at anesthesia and seeing how it changes from state to state to state, we want to make sure that we are aware of what state we're looking at, what their requirements are, and keeping track of our records. Want to keep track of your records. Now, if you want to know more about your specific state, what the requirements are, I encourage you to go and reach out to your Oregon or to your dental board for whichever state you're in, ask them questions. And if you're still like, I don't understand what this means, send me what you found and I'm happy to help you kind of figure it out. Right. All right, friends. So other fun things for 2025 that are coming up that are pretty cool. Like I said, certification courses. I'm in Georgia about once a month doing certification courses. So if you're in the state of Georgia and you're like, I want to get anesthesia certified, come see me. I will be doing some here in Oregon as well. The other thing is, if you didn't know, I wrote a book. I wrote a book. So I have 2 resources available for you. I have the laminated, look at how beautiful that lamination is. It's nice and thin, nicely cut, laminated chairside anesthesia guide, which basically you get to see a lot in any of my anesthesia courses. So that's available. And then I also have my regular book called Hit Me With Your Best Shot, which is not a textbook. It's a resource book. It basically takes the textbook and puts it into regular, normal talk. It like decodes it in a way. And I have video links available there as well, where you can see detailed techniques for videos. So that's some of the interesting information coming through. All right. So big changes happening within our nation in regards to scope of practice with anesthesia. Delaware, fingers crossed that some of our hygienists in Delaware can get their certification. And I won't be surprised if we see more states like Minnesota and Oregon bringing on anesthesia certification for dental assistants. I have a prediction that I think we'll see maybe one or two more states bring that on this year, just so you know. And proper education, proper use. We'll see how that flows. All right, friends. I will see you again next week, and we'll talk a little bit more about some anesthesia, maybe some anatomy, medical emergencies. You tell me, what would you like to know more about? And go check it out. Go check out my book. Go find it in the link and go buy that book. That would be really awesome. I would love it. All right, friends. Bye bye.